Hello and welcome back to Assetto Corsa, and today, in honour of the LeMans race that was last week, I've decided that we're going to look at the Ready to Race DLC pack car, the Audi R18 e-Tron Quattro, and we will be looking at the Toyota TS040, is it TS05? No, sorry, TS040 2014, but we'll have a look at that in a separate episode. In this episode, we're going to be looking at this, the R18 e-Tron Quattro, which is also in a 2014 spec, which is different to the 919s. The 919 hybrids are in 2015 and 16 specs, so these are slightly older. Anyway, bit of history about this particular car. I'm at the LeMans track, by the way, so you can see that I am taking a LeMans car out at a LeMans track. I mean, where else would you take an LMP1 car out? The Nürburgring, which is where I took out the Porsches. This 2014 car, it was it looked a lot like the 2013 car. It's not too different, but we'll get onto looks and all that in a bit. We're going to just do a bit of information, background information about this. The car was actually driven not on a racetrack first. It was actually Tom Christensen, who is a legendary driver. I think he's retired now. He retired a year, maybe 2 years ago. I think, no, last year he retired. Or was it the year before? I can't even remember now. Anyway, it could have been 2015. Yeah, actually it was 2015 when he retired. Tom Christensen actually drove it from the factory over to the track or something. Yeah, something like that. Or was it from the city centre or something to the track? And that was really weird. That's really weird. But you know, it did initial distance and all that kind of stuff, and it was supposed to be a pretty, you know, it was supposed to be one of Audi's definite winning cars. It was a very interesting car. It did win the Le Mans 24 Hour in that year, and it also won the 6 Hours of America. And they used a new color scheme with it, so you're gonna probably see that in the replay box: white, silver, red. And it was just, I mean, it's still the Audi colors. I mean, when you look at that, you still look at the Audi colors. But this is apparently what the colors was for. Silver emphasized the past success at racing. White as the second color is just a harmony color. That white is supposed to stand for the hybrid. Is it the white? Yeah, I think so. And it's also not used in a symmetrical fashion, because it was supposed to symbolize how complex the powertrain was, which is really odd. Black was used on the front and rear wings, as well as on sections of the sides, and with some geometric contours, and they say that they opted for matte black as it contrasts nicely with gloss white. It stands for lightweight design. It's supposed to, and the black on the fin is supposed to be like a backbone. Okay. And the red, of course, is Audi's special color. That's the unique color, and any sports Audi, the S badges, the S line badges, the S cars, they all have this red, and that is the exact same Audi red. So of course you'd have to have the red. And yeah, apparently that's what it was, and it was supposed to be made reflective, so it's impressive at night and the spectators can see it and all that kind of stuff. So, and it was designed so it was typical of Le Mans. Really weird how much thought they put into the actual design of this car. This was also a new technology era, so they had a whole, you know, a strange number of changes, because everyone was like, well, this is new, all this is new stuff, so what do we do? So they had a V6 TDI power plant in this. It went up to 4 liters, and it was a really efficient one. But then they decided to do this really nice energy recovery system on it, and it's an MGU, so you know, it's something from Formula 1 that we know now, the MGU unit. So it was one of them, and it's at the front axle, and it's got all these weird things that I'm not really going to be able to go into, because it's a lot of complicated stuff, and I probably don't have the time in this video to go into it. Suffice to say though, it's a very special car for Audi, particularly with the win. Specifications of this car, like I said, it has a V6 TDI, so it's a diesel, and I think this is the first diesel car that we've driven in Assetto Corsa. I forgot it was a diesel, I'll be honest. And because I forgot it was a diesel, I was trying to rev this up, and like, why is this not going over 5,000 RPM? It's a diesel. Diesels don't rev that high. It's mid-longitudinally mounted. You can guess where the actual engine is. Aluminium head and block, 4 litre, like I said, 4 valves per cylinder, dual overhead cam, direct fuel injection, dry sump. It's got an electronic turbo or something. It's got some sort of electronic turbo, and it produces 549 bhp or 410 kilowatts. 410 kilowatts? Yeah, 410 kilowatts. And it does have the electric motor as well that we have to talk about, which is front transversely mounted. Like I said, it's up on the front axle. It's, I think, directly plugged into the flywheel, and it produces 228 brake horsepower. So that is a combined figure of 777 brake horsepower. And of course the drive is the Quattro 4-wheel drive, e-Tron Quattro all-wheel drive, and the major wins 24 hours of Le Mans and the 6 hours of the Circuit of Americas, both won by the same drivers, or the same 3 drivers. I don't know how to pronounce any of their names though. Actually no, I do remember 2 of them. Andre Lotterer, Marcel Fassler, and I think this is Benoit Treluria? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know French names very well at all. But yeah, there we go. Right, moving on to the car itself in Assetto Corsa. What is it like to drive? What's it look like? What does it handle like? And what does it sound like? Well, first of all, we'll start with the looks, as we always do. Looks wise, yeah, it looks like the R18 e-Tron Quattro. There's nothing about it that says, oh no, well, I'm not the Audi. It definitely looks like the Audi. It looks sleek, it looks powerful. It has that really weird, the really weird bubble-headed dome-shaped cockpit canopy. I just never liked that canopy. It's really weird. That dome shape is just confusing. I mean, I know why they've done it. They've done it for, really increased visibility. But it just, I don't know, it just looks really odd from certain angles. This car looks like it's supposed to be an open wheel car, which reminds me of the R12. I think it does remind me a lot of the R12, this car does. But, R18 still looks good, still runs really well. It's an LMP car, it looks like an LMP car, a definite prototype. The texturing on it, pretty fancy. I was impressed with the textures. Inside and out, both very nice. The display works really nicely. You've got all the information that you need. Your rev counter, your gear, your current lap time, your delta to your previous lap, etc, etc. It's got all that very nicely lit as well, and you can also see it has a little traction control telling you what level your traction control is on, as well as a little blue light that comes on when you press the when you release the ERS, so when you're actually deploying battery power manually. So it has that, and a little green light that tells you when your lights are on and starts blinking when your lights are blinking, so on and so forth. I think that's very well done. Textures on this from the outside do look fairly good. I haven't had a chance to look at them really in close-up detail, but it doesn't look like it had some of the issues that the other ones had, where it gets really fuzzy at close range. Sounds-wise, it sounds like a diesel. Of course it does. You can hear the turbocharger on it as well. You can hear the car in it's revving. It's louder. It's a bit more growly, like you'd get from a diesel engine. When you're idling it, it's idling at a lower speed, it's idling with a lower pitch. It's got that diesel growl. It's not a petrol engine. That's what completely confused me, is that it sounded like a diesel engine. I was trying to rev it like a petrol engine, and it just wasn't adding up to me, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a diesel engine, duh. Just listen to how it sounds and listen to how low it, look at how low it's revving. It's a diesel engine, obviously. The physics on it, it's an interesting car to drive. It's got a lot of downforce. It does have a lot of power, like it's a 777 bhp. It has a lot of power, a lot of torque to put down. Of course, you're going to get high figures of torque with this electrical unit, but for me, I didn't feel that comfortable. I felt far more comfortable driving the Porsche than I did driving this Audi. I don't know, it just didn't feel comfortable to me. And the sense of speed as well, as I spin it out, the sense of speed just wasn't there for me. I mean, obviously I was doing high speed, and you're going to see some spin outs and all that kind of stuff, but the sense of speed just wasn't there for me. It really wasn't there. And if you glance at the speedometer in the bottom left hand corner, you'll notice that I'm doing a lot faster than maybe even it looks on the screen, and that's something that caught me out. The Porsche, I could sort of tell that I was doing some sort of speed. This felt really slow, and I don't know whether it was because of the noise of the engine not revving up high, not giving you that feeling, or something else. I don't know, but it just didn't feel so good to me. That's just my opinion. I'm sure some people will like this car a lot, but for me, I didn't like it. I'm gonna give this car an 8.5 out of 10. I know it won the Le Mans 24 hours, but I think I have to give this car an 8.5 out of 10. Just because I couldn't really get to grips with it, and I think the Porsche felt simulated a lot better. It just felt like a much better car, and I wasn't expecting that. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa, leave a comment in the comments box below, let me know what you think of the Audi R18 e-Tron Quattro 2014, and last but not least, do support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. I would massively appreciate your support. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Assetto Corsa, where I take a look at the other Le Mans car in the Ready to Race DLC, the Toyota TS040 2014. I'll see you guys then.